For this project, the poem I've chosen is Like Totally Whatever, written in 2015 by Melissa Lozada Oliva, who is a teacher, slam poet, and daughter to immigrant parents. Like Totally Whatever, after Taylor Mali. In case you haven't realized, it has somehow become necessary for old white men to tell me how to speak. They interrupt a conversation that isn't even theirs and are speak like you mean it. And the internet is ruining the English language, and they put my parentheticals, my likes and ums and you knows on a wait list. The poem discusses the struggles of being a woman. In particular, the struggle of women's voices not being taken seriously by old white men. I came across this poem online, and I chose it because it resonated with me, since I can relate to the struggles of being a woman. For this project, I will discuss the historical, aesthetic, and philosophical elements in the poem. Firstly, the history of Like Totally Whatever centers around an old white man's opinion, of course. Like Totally Whatever was written as a response to Taylor Mali's poem, Totally Like Whatever You Know, which discusses how the English language is getting ruined by young women, and that sentences are getting oversaturated with parentheticals. Furthermore, Lozada Oliva's poem makes numerous allusions to Mali's poem. For example, Lozada Oliva's "'Cause you can't just challenge authority, you have to take it to the mall too" is a direct counter to Mali's "It is not enough these days to simply question authority, you have to speak to it too." Because of these bold rebuttals to Mali's poem, Like Totally Whatever gained a lot of traction online and in mainstream media, granting Lozada Oliva some well-deserved recognition as a poet. Eventually, Like Totally Whatever even went on to win the 2015 National Poetry Slam Championship, a performance poetry competition where teams from across the United States, Canada, and occasionally Europe and Australia participate in large-scale poetry slam. Secondly, when looking at the structure in Like Totally Whatever, I found it is free verse, meaning it follows no metrical plan in its composition. Additionally, the plot of the poem is centered around men telling Lozada Oliva how to speak her whole life, which is expressed in the lines, "In case you haven't realized, it has somehow become necessary for old white men to tell me how to speak. They interrupt a conversation that isn't even theirs and are speak like you mean it," which is lines 2 to 7. A unique and almost ironic literary device Lozada Oliva uses is parentheticals, remarks that are not necessary to sentences, such as the word "like," referring to them as defense mechanisms women use due to the influence of men interrupting. I feel that the implement of these parentheticals is a rebellion towards people like Mali, who try to dictate how women should speak. Additionally, Like Totally Whatever holds an angry tone I feel is in part to the anger Lozada Oliva feels towards how society treats women. Also, the poem has an intense and relatable imagery of women's struggles and fears, such as "Our likes are our knee pads, our ums are our knives we tuck into our boots at night, our you knows are the best friends we call when we're walking down a dark alley." That's the lines 47 to 50. Thirdly, the philosophical outlook the author portrays is a critical one towards society. White men in particular, for telling women how to speak. Furthermore, the poem discusses how society equates femininity with weakness and uncertainty in lines such as, "Tell them no one will take them seriously in a frilly pink dress or that makeup. Tell them they have a confidence problem. They should learn to speak up, like the hyper-masculine words were always the first to raise their hands." Lines 13 to 19. Additionally, Lozada Oliva critiques the works of established male writers who gained their acclaim from writing about the female struggle in lines such as, It's like F. Scott Fitzgerald and Ernest Hemingway were geniuses for turning women into question marks. It's like rapes happen all the time on campuses, but as soon as John Crowker writes about it, suddenly it's like innovative nonfiction and not like something girls are like making up for attention. Lines 33 to 40. The poem rides the balance between personal struggles as a woman and universal struggles as a woman by using broad societal examples of patriarchal oppression as well as small personal examples. In conclusion, Lozada Oliva uses historical references, unconventional aesthetics, and strong philosophical points of view to create a meaningful, moving poem. I found Lozada Oliva's choice to write a response to another poet's work to be powerful, and the way that she did it to be very impactful. The deliberate use of improper English to send a clear message to those she was speaking against engaged me and allowed me to feel and share in her passion. Overall, the philosophy of the poem and the message delivered empowered me to speak the way I want to speak without adjusting myself for others' approval. And finally, the way women speak is not like a direct reflection of their intelligence, but like a direct reaction to their environment. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below.